Hello everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I want to look at the Southern District of New York investigation. Of course, we had the bombshell coming forward, I think it was 48 hours ago now, where Trump had requested Matthew Whitaker install one of his allies to oversee that investigation. Of course, Whitaker was unable to deliver on that, and it's reported that Trump was disappointed and that he soured on Matthew Whitaker. Now, we know the potency of the Southern District of New York investigation. We know that it's looking at the inauguration. We know that the inauguration funds, and we know foreign donations, and it's brought forward some tremendous evidence in relation, or I guess alluding to, potential possible fraud and money laundering offences relating to the collection and reporting of inauguration funds, contributions. These include donations, of course, from foreign nationals and straw donors, a nominee substituted for the actual contributor of funds. Oh my God, but you've got to go back to early 2016, 2017, and you've got to remember that Trump coming into this presidency and those around him were just doing what they've always done, and that's making money off certain things. Okay, they didn't understand that that's not the way that it works. And remember, Chris Christie was removed from that, from the transition team. The inauguration, who was driving that? I think it was it Tom Barrack, one of Trump's friends? Really naive thing to be done. I think it was finances for the Trump inaugural committee were handled by Richard Gates, vice chairman of the Trump campaign. Of course, we know that he's accepted a plea deal as well. So this is a really serious investigation. It has jurisdiction over Trump's political and businesses, and of course. We know that Mueller worked hard to hand off a lot of things, which resulted in the raid on Cohen's office. So very, very dangerous, perilous threat to Trump coming from the Southern District of New York, and of course so much so that he wanted to have an ally overseeing it. Now, that could amount to obstruction of justice. That's what it's saying. I think even a commentator on Fox News said it's pretty blatant that it looks like obstruction of justice. So I want to, in some ways we've got, Mueller made sure that in running in tandem was a jurisdiction that Trump could not influence. Okay, so this is Mueller being thorough and careful, which is what I alluded to in the reading that I did before on the Mueller report. So let's have a look. Let's have an update. Will he be charged with obstruction of justice? Even if he's not, I think the investigation's so serious enough to be such a threat to him that I think obstruction of justice will be the least of his problems. So let's have an update on the Southern District of New York. Will it contribute to the fall of Donald Trump? Will that investigation, almost untouchable, will that investigation contribute to the fall of Donald Trump? Will that investigation contribute to the fall of Donald Trump? And then after this, I want to read on Rudy Giuliani. But let's start. Judgment. Okay, so there's going to be judgment and potentially endings. Judgments come forward when something needs to end. It's almost like the signal, the light that you get when justice is coming for you. Judgment comes just before then, and that's coming for Trump. This is a challenge, but in some ways I don't even see it as a challenge. This is isolation and reflection, and that's the challenge around the judgment: isolation and reflection. I think that's picking up that the SDNY investigation is evolving as we speak. The Three of Pentacles is again, of course, the commerce and expansion around that those inauguration funds. This is overseas foreign money coming in here. working together to bring that money in. That is the and Trump's business interests. Of course, we have in relation to that inauguration alone several possible fraud and money laundering offences. What's in the past is the secrets, the high priestess secrets being revealed. Okay, that's the coming from things that are being hidden behind closed doors and pushing them forward into transparency. We've got the courts here. This is a really strong investigation. It's not marred by the politics of DC in any way. This is the Hierophant card. This is the system is stronger than the politics that we've got going in DC. Of course, we've got the Congress, we've got the House, we've got the Democrats, we've got the GOP, and we've got that whole political interplay. We've got Trump and the White House trying to do what they're doing with Mueller. But in Southern District of New York, no. Okay, the system is a lot stronger there. The Nine of Pentacles in the immediate future. Okay, so this is really pointing to, I guess, the independence of the investigation to follow that money trail. And coincidentally, this has got a woman here. And of course, I often pull this card in relation to Ivanka Trump. What does that mean? We are going to see some kind of subpoena, something coming down the line in relation to Ivanka Trump. Her signature is on the bottom line in relation to a lot of those inauguration donations and funds. Working with other countries here, the Three of Wands here, this has got an overseas impact. That is actually the situation at hand. It is those foreign donations, potentially money laundering offences. And I'm getting that it's just the tip of the iceberg. The environment around is the manipulation and the choices, trying to move things in one's favour. Again, the aspect of this card, the historical aspect of this card, is someone who is charged with turning on the lighthouse in order to bring the ships safely in from harbour that you can see behind. And that person is juggling with choices. Do they let the ship do they provide safety to the ship, or do they send it on to the rocks? So there is that aspect of this card. So potentially that's where you come from, manipulation. What's in it for me? That's the environment around that investigation. That is Trump allegedly trying to obstruct justice. We've got the hopes and the fears here. We've got the hopes that it will continue, and there's something around communications here. So for me, I'm picking up that this is relating to the investigators themselves and the communications that they need. Could be email trails, could be there's a lot to be uncovered as this investigation proceeds, because I'm getting that it is an evolving investigation, and we've got here really this needing to do the kind of hard yards in that investigation that Mueller's already done in his. There's a lot attached to the communications to and fro, and there's a lot more that they need. Not a lot more that they need, but they need more. And here we've got the outcome card that we had for the Mueller investigation report in relation to Donald Trump. We've got the Hangman, suspension of something here. Potentially there will be sacrifices that are going to be made. When I say sacrifices, we'll see people being brought to justice via this investigation, and we're going to see the loss here and the walking away. I think my feeling is that this investigation is actually going to, I'll just pull the laptop down so you can see that spread. My feeling is that this investigation is actually going to contribute to Donald Trump walking away from the presidency, as well as the Mueller report here. I think this is really the challenge for them. Again, the other aspect of this card is Trump being isolated, his power being taken away, so that he can't affect that investigation. It's too strong. The system is too strong. So I'm now going to look at, I'm just putting these cards back in the pack in different various orders, which is what I do when I finish a reading. They go not together, they go in different parts of the deck. So I just thought I'd mention that, viewers. If cards are coming back a second time, it's because they're meant to come back a second time. And it's really a validation from Spirit that when that occurs. I remarked to a viewer regarding letting something get under, getting a burr underneath my saddle. There are always lessons when you're triggered. There's always lessons there for you. And the lesson for me is, not to doubt. And that's one of the things with when you do this spiritual work, you shouldn't doubt yourself. Okay, so let's move on. I'll ask, will he be charged with obstruction of justice? Because I think that's been alluded to in the news stories. I'm not sure that he will, because I think there are bigger things that investigation is focusing on, but we'll ask anyway. Will Donald Trump be charged with obstruction of justice? Will Donald Trump be charged with obstruction of justice? Donald Trump charged with, with obstruction of justice. Will Donald Trump be charged with obstruction of justice? Ew! The Tower. The Tower card. We'll let it sit there and see what's coming forward. We've got the Ace of Cups here. New starts. Light being shone onto things. We've got the Smug Merchant, which in 2017 was one of the cards that I brought forward for Donald Trump. But this is also the Wish card as well. Wishing for new starts. The chaos for someone. Celebrations underneath the Tower card. Celebrations that something has occurred. Nine of Pentacles has come up again. Okay, so this is a woman here. This is a woman connected with that inauguration as well. So this is making its way into this reading, which is the way tarot does work. And we've got the manipulation here, the manipulation card. Interesting. Okay, so okay, three of Swords, Sorrow, mirroring the Tower card. And the family money card here. Okay, I actually think that he could be charged eventually. I mean, this reading is also portending to the investigation itself. It's very perilous for Trump, very perilous. He could be charged with obstruction of justice. That's what this is saying. Certainly, there's loss here in relation to that investigation. Now, I want to go to Rudy Giuliani. Okay, that's where I want to go. Now, the I think is it Lerman, the attorney that was put in charge of that particular district, was once a partner in Giuliani's law firm. Of course, he had to recuse himself from the SDNY investigation as a result, and I think that's who Trump wanted back in the game. Now, for a while, I thought Rudy Giuliani and Trump go back a long. Obviously, they go back a long way, but there's something more to that than I think. And I wanted to see. Let's just give it a shuffle. I want to see whether there's something that someone has on Giuliani. Now, he's been very quiet lately, okay? Because here was also, I think, originally the FBI were investigating Giuliani. Gosh, you couldn't write a Hollywood script bigger than this one. There'll be Hollywood movies coming out on this for decades to come. All right, what's flowing out? Prying open the truth, okay? Prying out the truth, prying it open. So let's ask, does Trump have something on Rudy Giuliani here? Do the FBI have something on Rudy Giuliani? Is he implicated in any way in any of this? So does Trump have something? Could even be overseas. Do the powers that be at this present time, Trump, those in his immediate circuit? Oh, why did I think Roger Stone here? Roger Stone. Do they have something on Giuliani? Does Trump or those around him have something on Giuliani? Does the FBI have something on Rudy Giuliani? Rudy Giuliani. Well, okay. Okay, the Queen of Swords. Okay, some kind of truth. And it could be around a woman as well. I'll bring the laptop down. Could be around a woman. Giuliani and a woman. Okay, and potentially payoffs here. This is some kind of monetary aspect that is the challenge to this. What is it? Did he tell somebody something? Has he done something in relation to women? Has there been some kind of payoff there? That's what seems to be coming through these cards. The focus is lost for Giuliani, which means that eventually, I guess, acting for Trump, really admiring him, enmeshing himself with Trump. Yeah, okay, so we've got the sword of truth in the background coming forward here. We've got working for money. There's something around finances here with Trump and Giuliani. And we've got immediate future. There might be something coming down the pike for Giuliani. He might be incriminated in some way in this New York investigation. We've got rock bottom and painful endings here. It's not looking good for Giuliani. And we've got the King of Cups in the environment. So this benign kind of parent aspect coming forward in the environment around. I think there's a great need for truth here. The hopes and the fears. We've got, I think there's a justice aspect here, a hope for justice in relation to this question. But we've got the manipulation here coming forward, and it's around money as well. We've got battle weary. Giuliani is worried. Okay, what this seems to say, and my laptop is getting very close to dropping out, so I'm going to finish this reading up. What this is saying here is that there's something that could possibly incriminate Giuliani. There's something that somebody already knows. He is worried about it. Could be why he stepped back. There could well be some kind of something brought forward around money and manipulation, but there's a woman aspect here as well. He's battle weary. Giuliani is battle weary. The two significant cards here for Giuliani are these two. What came out at the beginning of this reading, something around the sword of truth, something about truth coming forward, but also there's money, some kind of potentially something that's the challenge to the truth coming forward. But I'm getting a strong feeling of a woman being involved here. I'm going to leave it there. Viewers, I hope you enjoyed the reading today. Thank you.